I just came out of seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Uh, my initial impressions, well, first of all, going into this movie, I had very low expectations. I love to spoil things for myself, so I read everything online. It was all accurate. Who the villain was, what the crux of the story was, who was going to appear in it, what happens to them, all of that stuff. And reading descriptions of this, it sounded horrible to me. And so I had very low expectations going into this film. Of course, you don't get the heart and the soul of the film. You don't get the acting. You don't get everything else. Coming out of this movie, I'm pleasantly surprised. This is pretty cool. It's a neat trim 2 hours. Nowadays, 2 hours is svelte for a movie. Usually they're 2.5 hours or more. Um, Everything about it was very fantastical and very Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi's personality totally, like his art style totally shines through in this. There's tons of creatures, lots of monsters, lots of magic. Everything that Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch do is very magic based. Lots of magic powers, lots of inventive creativity in it. There's one scene where they use musical notes against each other, like two opponents um, fighting with these kind of laser notes. It's really neat. That's just one example of all the inventive creativity in this film. Lots of visual flair. And I like that this is the first time we get to see Doctor Strange in his own solo adventure. Doctor Strange, the first movie, is an origin story. And then all of the other MCU appearances are just Doctor Strange appearances. I mean, it's cool. He does cool stuff, and his personality shines through. But he just appears in other stuff. Here, he's on his own adventure, trying to solve a dilemma, and proving that he's more than just a wizard or a sorcerer. He's a hero as well, with the decisions he makes and stuff. And not to give too much away, the villain, I had a problem with the motivation of the villain, just reading it in synopses and stuff and spoilers, but watching the movie, I get it now. There's corruption involved, etc. And so the sort of the thought process isn't as dumb presented in this movie. This is probably the best representation of this spirit of the comics to me. It because there's all sorts of cool locations. Everyone's using powers against each other. No expense is spared here, and there's creatures all over the place. It's pretty cool. Doctor Strange himself shows himself to be, why shows the audience why he's Doctor Strange. I really enjoyed this. This sort of closes out the Scarlet Witch story in a way. And even Wong was cool in this. America Chavez, the new character that was in Marvel Comics and now introduced in this, is a MacGuffin in this movie, and her appearance totally makes sense. There's nothing shoehorned or pigeonholed about this character. She's basically the thing everyone needs to get, right? She's got an ability that everyone needs. Well, I mean, if you know America Chavez, you know that she can punch holes into different universes. So that figures into the multiverse of madness. All in all, I thought this is very enjoyable. This is a movie I'm definitely gonna watch over and over again. Lots of rewatchability. And I was pleasantly surprised that Doctor Strange's personality and his character is intact at the end of this movie. He's never really attacked for being less than himself, or how some of these movies, like for example the Iron Man movies, everyone berates Tony Stark for being himself, and and that's not really done here. I mean, this is a movie where the theme is basically yearning for a life you don't have, kind of thing, and that's sort of the theme here. Um, you know, I'll say this: there's a character in the first movie that made zero impact on me, and Christine. I forgot she was even in that movie. She's barely in it. Um, there's not a lot made about how Doctor Strange pines over her until that What If show. And I was like, when I saw that episode, I was like, who the hell's that? Was she even in the movie? She was, but she's never mentioned in any of the other Doctor Strange appearances in the MCU. Completely forgotten, zero impact in that film, and all of a sudden they're making a big deal of her in this movie. There's nitpicks like that I have with this, only because of the direction they want to go here. But all in all, like, this is, I mean, I think it's great that we have a Doctor Strange movie where he's just Doctor Strange the whole time, and he's not, there's no origin, and he's not a guest in someone else's movie. So, yeah, in terms of, like, heroic stuff, this is pretty cool, and I look forward to watching this again and again when I get on 4K. So that's my initial impressions.